is who's got the show.
Sean and I both got jumbo weenies.
But anytime I can get my hands on Triple H
jumbo weenies. Look at us. We have lowered ourselves to wearing overalls.
I'm so damn sick I've been in the back throwing up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's episode 4 of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Of course, we've started this thing up, so my dogs have started up. I, of course, am your host, Brent Piles. And with me, as always, is a man who is from across the ocean and from the future. Here's the barroom brawling, disco dancing, dynamite stretching, intercontinental playboy. Folks, he's more over than not having any air conditioning in your windows when it's 97 degrees outside. Glenn, how you doing?
It's 97 at least. I'm sure it went over 100 today. It's fucking hot.
Goddamn motherfucker.
Let's talk about a time where there wasn't glue. Oh no! First of all,
yeah,
let's talk about the winners of the Emirates Cup, shall we?
4 years in a row, I think, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's our cup. I think we should always win it.
It is like an exclusive trophy.
Yeah, it's hard to win. Hard to win. Yeah, but so they looked much better in the two last friendly matches that we watched with against Byron Leverkusen, and then of course against Lyon on Sunday. We got two goals from two center halves, which is my favorite. My favorite goals are center half goals, Glenn.
Especially when they're heading them like they were.
Yeah,
they were two really good goals.
What a fucking run by Gabby, too, up on that fucking second header. He freaking came flying into the screen.
He did.
He almost carried himself into like the 6th row. He ran so fast.
And also, we've got to say congratulations to Dan because Liverpool finished their pre-season with a win as well. So
that's good. Congratulations to Dan on that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We, of course, got the season starting this weekend. We started off with a tough matchup. Not a pushover team. We play Wolves, so
that's right.
They've got a pretty decent squad. So
it's going to be interesting to see on A, what team he puts out, and B, how they play.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Yeah, squad selection is definitely going to be an interesting thing. I imagine that to start the season, I imagine that Zevchenko is going to start at left back. I just think that they might switch it as the year goes on. But I think when the season starts, he's going to be the starter.
I don't know. I don't know whether he's brought in the Italian guy whose name escapes me at the moment.
Calaflore.
That's
when he plays in the back, he will stop your attack. Calaflore. Sorry, that's so great.
They've started that already, have they?
Yeah, they already have.
Yeah, it's so I think he's been brought in so they can push Zinchenko a little bit further forward.
I think that's the best place for him. I agree with that.
Yeah, so he plays more where he plays for Ukraine rather than where he plays for Arsenal. Yeah,
because I like Zini going forward. I don't like so much him defending. So that's why I don't really like him at left back. And I don't think going forward through the season he's going to be starter at left back. I just think that's where Arteta's going to go to start the season, just because he's been there and Calaflore just came into training, so I don't think he's going to throw him in there right away.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll find out on Saturday morning. I am over the moon excited. I've been waiting for this. I've been watching fucking EFL soccer, Glenn. That's how excited I've been.
Yeah, you didn't. Your second team didn't do very well.
Yeah, maybe I should not root for them because maybe I'm bad luck. Yeah. I really put Luton Town did not look good yesterday. They definitely did not. And then I saw the cup, the first round of the whatever cup it's called, started today too. The Caribou, I don't know what it is.
Caribou.
The Caribou Cup. I thought it was Caribou, but I thought I might sound like a fucking idiot if that's what I said.
What used to be the League Cup,
but then they got sponsored by that drink, and so now
it's yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, I think that does it for our football talk this week. We'll have much more to talk about next week when we have a full slate of matches.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that more next week. But for today, Glenn, we are going to get into a Raw is War that was more bad and ugly than good, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was.
There was even one match that was good, bad, and ugly all at the same time.
You told me that, and I'm not sure which match you're referring to 100%, and so it's going to be fun when we do.
Yeah.
Find out as soon as I can get my microphone to agree with me.
Oh, yeah. It's gone all limp.
I hate when that happens. There we go. Now I got it.
That's it.
Now I got it. Okay, so Raw is War, January 19th, 1998, from the Cell-An Arena in Fresno, California. Opened in October of 1966, was expanded in 1981, and underwent a renovation in November of 2006. This arena has held only 2 WWF pay-per-views in its history, one of which was the 1996 Royal Rumble, so that's something. And then a pay-per-view later this year, which is going to be Fully Loaded. I think that's in June or July. Fully Loaded 1998. I remember that one. I don't remember any of the matches on that show. I just remember that Sable took off like a sweatshirt and she had like only handprints of
that's the one.
boobs. Yeah.
Oh, my favorite Sable moment.
I was 14, so of course that's burned into my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple of Raws and SmackDowns here too. They haven't had a Raw or SmackDown here since 2003, and the last even pro wrestling event at all at this arena was an NXT house show in 2016. But if you happen to find yourself in Fresno, California, you can head on down to this arena, Glenn, for R&B night out with such artists as Genuine, Frankie J, Chingy, and Paul Wall. So if you love some 90s R&B, head on down there and check it out. Also, they've got Keith Sweat on September the 6th, so they've got all your 90 R&B needs. So there you go. There's that arena. I only had one notable sign this week. Did you see any good signs this week?
No, I leave you to look for the signs.
Well, unfortunately, I only saw one good one. It said HBK fears me.
Oh, right.
Not me. Whoever wrote it.
No,
I don't know. I don't think he's scared of me. I don't.
I doubt if he's scared of you.
He probably doesn't even know who I am, so it would be
No.
very strange for him to be scared of me. So, Glenn, I think it's only fair that we start out with something just awful. Tell me the first ugly thing that you've got on your list, because this whole entire show was ugly.
Well, it kicked off. Shawn Michaels and Triple H in China with this awful promo backstage about Owen Hart and the Undertaker and the whole thing. It's just so childish, and it don't get any better.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully it does as we go on through the year, but it don't get any better at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, all the other stuff we watched so far has been good, but this was, they had like maybe 2 or 3 good things, but there wasn't a whole lot to get excited about. Yeah, all the DX stuff just seemed corny and childish, and it didn't make me care about Shawn Michaels or Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania at all. And maybe that was their plan because they wanted us to focus on Austin and Tyson, maybe.
Yes.
And I know that Shawn Michaels is
didn't they push that?
What do you say? Go ahead.
I said, didn't they push that?
Well, they've been doing that. They've been promoting that. And I know Shawn Michaels is like, he just hurt his back or whatever. And so maybe they're trying to like, do these little segments with him so that they can, I don't know, keep him out of the ring. But I don't know. Everything was bad about it. And they kept searching for the Undertaker. There's a hearse, and then it's just full of girls. And
yeah, what was the point of that?
Just see that girls like them. I don't know.
It was just so disappointing.
It's also really awkward too when China just has to stand there and like shake her head. It's just so weird.
Yeah, shut the door.
Yeah, and then they find the minis, but they don't speak Spanish. The locker room, they're in the locker room, and then the lights go out, and and even when they came out to the ring, they got a fucking barbecue grill, they got fucking hot dogs, and they got goddamn marshmallows that they formed the 2 marshmallows around the hot dog, so it looks
that's because Shawn Michaels came out as the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. So I have a good thing that started off the show, and that was them showing what happened at the Royal Rumble between Kane and the
Oh, yeah.
Undertaker,
Hmm.
and then even Paul Bearer coming down to the ring, because just like they play the Undertaker is like the somber. It was like the Undertaker's music with the old Undertaker's music,
Yeah,
like from
that's
the
right.
90s.
Yeah.
And he looked so damn happy with himself and proud of himself as he was
Yeah,
walking down
yeah.
to the ring. It was just something. I thought it was really good. The fans were booing him, and they were chanting "You suck," and he said, "Well, if I do, I must be really good at it."
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's talking about he tricked everybody. They should have gave him an Oscar for that interview that he did last week. Yeah, and then he brings out Kane and he introduces him as the last living member of the Undertaker's family. Which they did tell us during this that once they did pry it open and they got the casket open, the Undertaker had disappeared. So,
But it smelt.
yes,
Kept on saying it smelt bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless it completely burned him up alive, bones and all, I'm not sure what happened to the Undertaker, where he went, maybe to another dimension.
Well, this is not unprecedented with him, is it?
It's true. That's true. That's why anytime someone would bury the Undertaker alive, but he's gone, I buried him alive. I'm like, sir, come on.
Yeah. Don't you watch?
You know you haven't done that.
Yeah.
You should have just let him bury you alive. You would have been better off that way.
That's right.
It always takes me back to when AJ Styles lost that Boneyard match to him, and he's gone off TV for a couple weeks, and he shows back up the next week. And people are like, "How'd you get to the arena?" He's like, "What do you mean? I got in my car and I drove there. What do you mean how I get to the arena?" Yeah. So I thought that was fun. I thought that was a good way to start the show. Also to shock you, Glenn, I'll get right into another good thing was I enjoyed the opening 6-man tag team match between DOA and NOD. I didn't think I would going into it. I was ready to put this on the bad list, but it was a good, hard-hitting match.
It was meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says a lot when it was D'Lo Brown was the smallest man in the ring, at about 250 pounds.
Right.
Unfortunately, it fell into the trap of a lot of what went on during this tonight. It was too short. It all ended abruptly.
Yeah.
No, it was.
And it was just a big DQ finish, but
It was. He had one of either 8-ball or skull. I don't know which is which.
Yeah.
Whichever one of the Harris brothers. Getting beaten up by the Nation in their corner and hardly selling any of it.
Yeah.
And then he gets a hard tag. And the next thing, all 6 are in the ring and the referee's disqualifying them all.
Yeah, and the referee throws it out.
In about 2 minutes.
And then, like all the rest of the Nation members hit the ring. And actually got 4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Oh, right. It
which
didn't
was
seem
the
that.
second longest match on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll tell you something. Yeah, Rock runs in after. They start beating them up, and Mark Henry too. But then Ken Shamrock and Ahmed Johnson come down to,
of course,
join in. Has to be Ahmed Johnson.
It has to be Ahmed Johnson. Yeah, you think the guy would have learned by now to stay away as far as possible from the Nation.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, if you're messing with the Nation on your own, I'm not doing this anymore. I wasted a year of my life with this.
Even when he was with the Nation, he got injured.
Oh, he lasted in the Nation for like a week.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't hurt himself running down the ramp, so I guess that's a plus.
They injured him when they beat him up. He came back. He joined the Nation. He got injured again. He came back. He got beaten up again. Leave them alone. Stay away from them.
It's been bad news for you ever since you joined the Nation.
Yeah.
You just go to WCW and join Harlem Heat. You can battle Booker T for the rights to the letter T.
The biggest shame was for the ticket paying public for this one. Because they were actually into this.
Oh yeah.
They were getting behind DOA against the Nation. And it all ended so abruptly that nobody could really even get warmed up.
Yeah, no, I mean the crowd was really super into that match. It's the first match out there, so I mean you could have really done something with it. While it was good, I thought they could have been better, and they kind of dropped the ball with it. And then we had give me some more bad, Glenn. What else bad do you have from the show?
God, where did we start? Mark Mero against Tom Brandy yet
That's
again.
where I was going to start.
Well, we had Vince Russo as whatever he was calling him.
Vic Venom.
Vic Venom.
Yeah.
Flogging the WWF magazine. And then we get match 2. Mark Mero with Sable versus Tom Brady. This is nothing we haven't seen at least 10 times coming out of 1997.
I've been begging for this to stop and end, but it just keeps
going.
This is like the Godwins versus LOD, Glenn. Just when we think it's over, they pulling this right back in, and we got to watch it again. They said when he's coming down to the ring that Tom Brady is making a name for himself. I beg to differ.
Yeah. And did you notice that he was in his old Sal Sincere trunks?
Yeah, he had the Italian stallion trunks on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody sent Sable flowers because they bring flowers down to the the guy. Mero, of course, sees this as unhappy, stomps the flowers to the ground, tries to make Sable leave, but thankfully she doesn't because she's the only thing good about this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why they think anybody gives a shit about Mark Mero, or why they think anybody gives a shit about Tom Brady, or why they think if they take 2 piles of shit and throw them in the ring together, people are going to care.
Yep. Nobody does. Newsflash, nobody does.
Yeah. Mero wins with a TKO. He starts beating him with Sable flowers, and please let this be the last fucking time I see these guys in the ring together. Please.
To be fair, the crowd were trying to get into this as well. They were trying their best for it. It wasn't a bad TV match, really.
No.
It was just the participants.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times before.
Yeah. Okay, and then the next match I do actually have listed on my good because it's Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie taking on
this was good.
The Quebecers. But also saying that, I also have two of those things in my bad, one in bad and one in ugly. Bad because why the fuck are the Quebecers here anyway? What year is this? Is this 1992? Like, what is happening? Why? And then my other ugly is I love a good mullet, but Jacques Rougeau's had to be one of the worst I've ever seen. That thing was awful.
Yes.
Good Lord.
And you have just summed up my good, bad, and ugly for this show.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yes, it makes sense, Glenn. I did know the match. I didn't think I did, but I did.
You did. It was balmy. That's all you could say about it.
Yeah, I was like, the Quebecers, first of all, why the Quebecers? Why did we re-sign the Quebecers? I knew they had been in WCW, I think, in 1996.
Yeah.
I don't know why they thought that they should bring them back. It's just very strange. It was fun to see Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Cactus got a barbed wire baseball bat. He's swinging like a maniac. And then Chainsaw Charlie's got a chainsaw. He's fucking swinging around like a maniac.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
He nearly had Cactus Jack's head off again with that bloody chainsaw. So we got a match with 3 idiots and a mullet.
Basically. 2 Hall of Fame idiots, though.
Yeah, 2 Hall of Fame idiots. Another idiot and a mullet.
Yeah, I mean,
it was good. It was decent.
Yeah, it was a brawl. I mean, they were they were crazy hard hitting spots, and then that ends in a DQ because Cactus Jack puts a mandible claw on the referee.
Why?
Why not? I guess.
Yeah.
Just because he was standing there, he shouldn't have been standing there, Glenn, is why. Yeah, then they
brawl. Let's take 2 of the biggest names that you've got on your roster at the moment and have them go over to the Quebecers via DQ.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Quebecers technically won this thing, didn't they?
Yep, they did.
The Quebecers are 1-0 in their return back, Glenn. They're going to be tag team champions in no time.
Yeah.
You know what it was, Glenn? There was that sign a couple of weeks ago that kid had that said, Vince, your tag team sucks, and it sucks. And he said, God damn it, you're right. I need the Quebecers. Get the Quebecers in here. The only way to save the tag team division is the Quebecers.
My main note from this one was this was okay if abrupt.
Yeah.
It's like all the matches on this show, it wasn't that long.
That match got Austin 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
Good.
Cactus Jack 316 says, I'm Mandible Claw, the referee. Yeah. So yeah, that was at least fun. I don't know if I would classify it as good, but I will put it on good fun because it was fun. We got more NWA crap.
Yes.
That I've listed under the bad department. It's Jeff Jarrett battling Bradshaw for the NWA North American Championship. Of course, he's got Cornette and the Rock and Roll Express with him, and then Bradshaw's got Barry Windham with him. Sorta.
Blackjack Windham, yeah.
He more like fucking Flapjack Windham because he wasn't doing shit out there.
No, it seems to be not so blackjack.
Yeah, I guess it'll just be Windham.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll go back to the Stalker. What do you think?
No.
It's the NWA in 1998.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And it's just an excuse for Cornette and his cronies to bloody cheat.
Yeah, and they're still the Rock and Roll Express are heels, which is very strange.
Yeah.
Wyndham's not doing anything to stop, the Rock and Roll Express and Cornette from interfering in the match. They keep taking liberties, and well, at first I thought maybe he didn't see them, but then at the end we find out that he definitely saw them because he joins in with beating them up at the end. And so apparently Blackjack Wyndham has turned on his tag team partner Blackjack Bradshaw, and
because he was a former NWA champion.
Yeah, I mean, so was Lou Thez. They bringing him in?
I wouldn't bet against it. The way things are going, it is.
They bring in fucking Dan Severn, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do bring in. Oh God, Dan Severn. I've heard interviews with him. He seems like a very nice man, and I'm sure he could fucking tie me into a knot, depending on how old he is now. It doesn't matter. He can still beat me up and tie me into a knot. But he is boring as balls as a professional wrestler, and he never should have gotten to do it.
Certainly is.
He's like, who's that guy who used to wrestle for Vern Gagne back in the day? He was like an amateur Olympic wrestler, and then he used to train guys too, but they tried to make him like a big star. Brad Rangans? You know who Brad Rangans is?
No.
Of course you don't, because he's a shit wrestler.
All right, okay.
Great amateur wrestler, but boring and terrible as a regular wrestler.
There's been a few of those.
Yeah.
Not everybody could be Kurt Angle.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Well, I mean, Gable Stevenson, I was watching the Bears preseason game. He plays for the Buffalo fucking Bills now. He used to be a wrestler.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. But anyway, back to this crap.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett wins after the many interferences from Cornette and the Rock and Roll Express. At one point, Bradshaw tried to land a double clothesline on both members of the Rock and Roll Express, and I don't think he hit anyone.
No, he missed them. They went under him.
Yeah. They still sold it, and commentary sold it too, but he hit nobody.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, Bradshaw's mad. Wyndham looks disappointed, but then, it was a screw job all along. Wyndham turns on Bradshaw, and JR says, this story's going to get very interesting. No, sir. No, it won't.
He didn't know what was coming next.
No, sir. No.
The aforementioned DX and a boom mic in the dark, which went nowhere.
Right. It was like they saw the Undertaker in their locker room, and we were supposed to believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when Shawn Michaels comes down from the ceiling, and the Undertaker's like, whatever, and it's him, and then they bring out a grill and they're doing me and Sean got jumbo weenies, and then China's got a giant sausage.
Yes, all of that.
Yeah, the marshmallows and Triple H asked. This was funny though. I did laugh at this. After he takes off the Undertaker stuff, Triple H says, "Did you get that stuff at a fire sale?" Which
Yeah.
that was the only part of this I didn't roll my eyes at. It didn't come off as edgy. It wasn't anything but silly.
No, it wasn't.
I just hoped for it to be over. I just was hoping for it to be over. So that wasn't good either.
And then we get to the most absurd thing of this night. They couldn't get any more absurd. It was Vince McMahon doing a tribute to Martin Luther King.
Oh God! It was like 12 seconds.
It was.
I thought, oh yeah, Vince is the guy who should be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
That great advocate of racial equality.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Vince. I'm sure Vince is definitely a big proponent of that. Definitely. It was literally only it was 12 seconds long, too. If they were gonna do something for Martin Luther King on his birthday, you should have at least given him a minute.
Yeah, and that's it.
Fuck.
Especially when they'd save so much time on such short matches.
Right, they had some time to spare for Martin Luther King, I think, on MLK Day.
Well, yeah, you would have thought so.
But
it was all wasted by DX.
Yeah, they needed more time of Sean and Hunter talking about
it out with DX all the bloody time instead of having wrestling matches.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we're not complaining because there wasn't enough Martin Luther King on this show. We're just saying there was enough bullshit that they could have went longer than 12 seconds on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even get a Karate Fighters holiday tournament match, Glenn. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I didn't think we would. It's January, the holidays. Then there's more ugly. Good God, it's 1998. Why the fuck is the Honky Tonk Man here? Stop it. Yeah. Go away.
I know.
I don't want you here anymore. Go. Get out of here. Why? Every fucking time.
We can't get away from him.
No. I don't want him to come through my town in a pink Cadillac. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, dear.
He's got to know where the bodies are hidden, right? He's got to know. That's why they keep bringing him back.
God, yeah, they must do. He knows what's in that lockbox.
He'd fucking owe him something. And then we get Taka Michinoku and Owen Hart. Yes, Taka Michinoku and Owen Hart teaming with the Headbangers.
Just before that,
oh God,
we have Mike Tyson going around shaking everybody's hands.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, that was like a running thing throughout the show, and then
yeah, I know.
Sonny's like, I heard you're. I'm quite the knockout myself.
Yeah, Sonny. Yeah, God.
Yeah. Sonny.
Okay. Anyway, yes, Lusburique was. This was another thing, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, and they're facing Owen Hart, Taka Michinoku, and the Headbangers, the weirdest fucking tag team of all time.
That is it. Yeah. To be fair, the wrestling wasn't too bad.
All 3 minutes and 1 second of it.
Oh, is it all 3 minutes and 1 second of it? Should have longer than that on his own. And the Headbangers should have longer than that on their own. But they decided.
They've all but abandoned the fucking light heavyweight championship, haven't they?
They certainly have. Yeah, that went by the board.
That shit's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Owen's team gets the victory there.
And it was a clean victory.
That's a nice thing. We don't see it very often in 8-man tags, do we?
No, especially not on this show.
Definitely not on this show. And then they had The Rock, who's going to defend the Intercontinental Championship against the only likely contender,
Ahmed Johnson, of course.
Ahmed Johnson first gets in the ring, and The Rock knocks him down, and The Rock is throwing some kicks at him, and I'm pretty sure he didn't land any of them. I'm pretty sure.
And Ahmed decides that he's going to be Mr. Tough Man for once, and sells the people's elbow.
Yeah, he kicked right out of it.
He kicked right out of it. He jumped up like a jack in the box.
This match,
he didn't blow a quad or something when he did that.
Yeah, this match was sloppy.
It was very sloppy.
It was not.
I'm sure. I'm sure by this time, the Rock can be, given the right opponent, can have a decent match now. But Ahmed Johnson isn't that opponent.
Certainly not in this point either, because Ahmed Johnson is not in the same shape he was when he first came in, and lots of injuries. And I just can we just move on? Just have Ahmed Johnson go feud with somebody else. Have him feud with fucking Mark Merrow. Maybe I'll care about it a little bit more. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Mark Merrow comes down. He gets a chair. I got Mark Merrow.
Mark Henry.
Yeah. He gets a chair. He hits Ahmed Johnson in the back with it when the ref is not looking, which allows The Rock to hit a rock bottom in the win. Eventually, Ken Shamrock comes to chase them out of the ring after the match is over. So,
yes,
I think they're having an 8-man tag team match at the. I'm sorry, a 10-man tag team match at the next pay-per-view. It's going to be Ken Shamrock, the DOA, and Ahmed Johnson versus the Nation of Dominant.
That's going to be a nice little clusterfuck.
You won't it? That might be a watch-along match, as a matter of fact. I'll have to look and see how long it is, but that might be a watch-along match, because that could be a big clusterfuck.
There we get Mike Tyson with those sedate, controlled gentlemen, Cactus Jack and Chaser Charlie.
No, yeah, those are 3 guys. Hey, Glenn, Mike Tyson, Chainsaw Charlie, and Cactus Jack walk into a bar.
Yeah. Everybody leaves.
That's a good start, and everybody's dead.
Anyway, main event time. New Age Outlaws versus guess who?
The Gun!
Oh,
The longest match of the evening, Glenn, was this one. 4 minutes and 53 seconds. See, like I literally watched this just yesterday, Glenn, and I was pretty sure it ended in a DQ. But as what I'm looking for here on the results here, that's not the case.
No, the referee had his back turned when they hit whichever Godwin it was with the pig, the loaded pig.
The loaded pig, and they had overalls on, and
yeah. God knows how Billy Gunn must have had those trunks glued to him that they didn't come off when the overalls got pulled off of him.
He's lucky. Yeah, he's lucky we didn't see Billy's balls, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We'd have been seeing a different kind of ass daddy, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I mean, that match, I guess it kind of does. I don't know if that settles things between the Godwins and the New Age Outlaws. Hopefully it does, because I mean, didn't the Godwins help the Outlaws beat LOD or some shit like that?
Yeah.
So they owed them a tag team title match or something like that, and that's why we had to do this.
Yeah, but this was probably the most heatless match on the card, because although the others have been short and some of them haven't been good, there's been a protagonist and an antagonist.
Yes.
So the crowd have known who to get behind. But this one, they didn't give a shit about DX or the Godwins.
Yeah, because you got 2 heel teams out here, and ain't nobody cheering for those guys because they're loud and obnoxious. Ain't nobody cheering for the Godwins because they're the fucking Godwins. So yeah, that was something. Hopefully they'll get some good tag teams going, and we'll get some better tag team feuds, because right now it's pretty putrid. The tag team division.
I'm not holding my breath on that, though.
But Glenn, the Quebecers are here, so
that's
the sun is a setting, pal. I mean, rising. The sun is a rising, pal.
Okay.
I can't wait, Glenn. The Quebecers versus the Godwins. That's a money feud right there.
Yes.
They should have made them Canadian farmers. That's what they should have done. They should have been Canadian. They should have been Canadian cow farmers, and then they would have been Arkansas pig farmers, and then they could have feuded.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I think that's good. Goddamn. Then they could have like a fucking loaded pig on a pole match, or a loaded cow on a pole match. Or they could do a flag match where one has like a pig flag and one has a cow flag.
The possibilities are endless for
rubbish. They could have a barnyard brawl.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm a booking machine on this. Anyway,
You've been watching too much bad wrestling. That's your trouble.
Well, I do like the bad wrestling. I'm gonna watch some on Thursday night. So, yeah.
It's
So
there. It's finally time.
yeah, the hype is finally over. As
Mike Tyson comes to the ring with an entourage, a huge entourage. You know, they're selling him as the most dangerous man on the planet, which probably is correct about that.
pretty fucking close.
And he's got 6 goons with him, and even one of them brave enough to slap his hand away when he went to go and shake hands with somebody.
Because he'll beat them up too. Yeah, I guess it's just that thing of he's got to have an entourage. I don't know. I didn't like. I remember this happening, but I don't. I like for the life of me, I didn't thought it closed the show for some reason. Like I thought it was the first thing that happened. But as we're here, we're watching it. It's funny what your mind does. You know,
it certainly is.
You know what I mean? Your mind can play a lot of tricks on you. Mine certainly did because I thought. Immediately, they brought out fucking Tyson and Austin. The first thing they all did.
So far, what we've seen in the Attitude Era, it proves that your mind plays a lot of tricks on you.
Yeah, well, we haven't got that far yet. We won't give it a complete judgment yet. But yeah, so Vince comes out first, and then he says that they're going to make the biggest announcement in World Wrestling Federation history, Glenn, in the history.
Yeah.
Brings out the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson. Tyson's been a wrestling fan since he was very young. Vince asked him who were some of his favorites. He says Bruno Sammartino and Nikolai Volkov, which I don't think are the answers that Vince was looking for.
No, I don't either.
I'm pretty sure this time Vince and Bruno weren't seeing eye to eye, and so Vince is probably saying, "Don't say fucking Bruno."
Yeah.
Don't say that. I noticed he started to pull them as soon as he started saying Bruno. I said, "You've got to pull the mic away from him." And Nikolai Volkov, everybody knows, growing up in the '80s, a young American fan just loved the Russian Nikolai.
Yeah,
especially in the '80s.
That well-known Russian heel.
Huge babyface in America in the '80s, so Nikolai Volkov. Yeah. Eventually, of course, Austin comes down here.
Thank God.
He brings him out. He had a bigger entourage than Mike Tyson did. He brought like 30 referees with him.
Yeah. I think they were chasing him. I don't think he was bringing them with him.
That's probably true. But yeah, Vince is, of course, a little leery here. He asks Austin why he's here. Austin says, I've been watching you shake everybody's hand back there, and I've been so damn sick. I've been in the back just throwing up.
Yeah.
He tries to shake Austin's hand. Austin says, I don't want to shake your damn hand because I don't want to be friends with you. I mean, if you've been a wrestling fan, you've seen this whole thing. You know, the whole Tyson and Austin, Tyson, Austin. What did you have this? You think this was good, bad, ugly, indifferent?
Indifferent.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. And it's hard to say that it was ugly because it was a typical sort of Austin brawl.
Right.
Vince spent so much of 1997 telling us that the WWF don't do bait and switch. Now, this is the biggest one ever.
That's true.
Because they're teasing Austin versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
They've been teasing a wrestler against Mike Tyson since Mike Tyson was first mentioned.
Right.
But
very much implied that he was going to be wrestling. Yes.
Yeah. But because of this, Austin has ruined it all. It's not going to happen now.
Yeah. Austin keeps going back and forth with him. Tyson, for the whole time, doesn't really look like he's just trying to, be cool with Austin, but Austin's not having it. And finally, Austin flips him off. Tyson finally has had enough of this. He shoves him. What you don't see on camera is when Tyson shoves Mike, when Mike Tyson shoves him, a bunch of money flies out of Mike Tyson's pockets. I don't know where he had it, what pockets he had it, but a bunch of money comes out of Mike Tyson's jacket, right? And so all his guys are worried about picking up the money. They're not trying to hold Mike back. So
No.
you can't see it because of what the camera's doing, but nobody's holding Mike back. Everybody's holding back Austin. But if Mike wanted to, he could do whatever he wanted because his guys are trying to pick up all the money. So that was my biggest takeaway from this was I thought it was hilarious that he dropped all that money. He was apparently going to the strip club afterwards or something. He had to get a bunch of bills on him.
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
It's amazing that although this never led to anything between Austin and Mike Tyson, it kicked off Austin versus McMahon.
It did.
Which actually turned the whole of the Monday Night Wars on its head.
They did.
So this is a pivotal moment, but not for all the reasons that Vince thought it was going to.
And it's funny, like when I was a teenager watching this, I'm like, I don't understand why Vince, has it out for Austin. Like, what did Austin ever do to Vince? And then you go back and watch it now, and you're like, he did a lot.
Now you know why, yeah.
He did a lot of shit to him. If I was Vince, I wouldn't have liked him either. Yeah, but he's like yelling, screaming at Austin. You ruined it. He's even like trying to kick Austin in the head, and like one of the referees is having to hold him back because he won't do it. And then the show goes off the air with like Tyson and his crew in the back yelling at Vince. And so I guess we'll see where it goes from here. Will Mike Tyson be at WrestleMania? I mean, everyone knows he will be.
Yeah, but not in the capacity that it was made us to believe that he would.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, so this show is going to get 2 solid thumbs down. It was just not good.
It wasn't bad. It was bad.
It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Let's look at the television ratings, though, Glenn.
Yes, please.
WWF was at a 3.45 last week. This week they did a 3.96, so they went up. WCW dropped, but only from a 4.58 to a 4.57. So still beating WWE, but WWE is catching up at this point. Let's see. Glenn, do you want to hear the matches that we missed since we watched this dreadful Raw instead of Nitro?
Just before that, that little rise on the WWF is probably because it was post Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
And that people wanted to find out what happened to The Undertaker.
Yeah. And they were sorely disappointed in what they saw on Raw.
Yeah.
So we had Rick Martel defeated Eddie Guerrero. Huh? In 1998?
Okay.
What the fuck? Okay, second match, Chris Benoit defeated Marty Jannetty. What? Am I in a time warp? What the fuck is happening?
It's no wonder they didn't have to do a decent Raw.
Chris Benoit and Marty Jannetty have a great match. It's just fucking strange. I did not expect to see that. Then we got Ernest Miller defeating Jerry Flynn. The Steiner brothers defeated Buff Bagwell and Conan. Booker T successfully defended the world television title against Mortis. Chris Jericho defeated Juventud Guerrero. Lex Luger defeated Scott Hall. And the Giant defeated Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the main event. I will say for this card, though, Glenn, is most of the matches got more than 3 minutes. So it's like better than Raw. I'm going to be honest with you, Glenn. I think I'd rather watch this show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Except for the strangeness of 1990s WWF wrestlers to open the show. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Rick fucking Martel. Wow. And he beat Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I know.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's booking this shit.
I don't know. Rob will tell us. Rob, who's booking that shit in 1998? Was it still Bischoff? I think it was still Bischoff.
Still Bischoff, yeah, then.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin Nash had taken over quite yet. So there we go, Glenn. That is the end of this edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which was very bad and very ugly. Glenn, who do you need to plug before we get out of here?
Talking about Rob and Dan, I'm booking the territory, doing the first and last of wrestling. They're shoulders deep at the moment in unstacking the Dadatory. The road to Wembley 1981 for Big Daddy and Jared Haystacks and the most watched wrestling show in history, at 80 million viewers. They also have their other side projects. I'm booking the Tankatory, the Life and Times of Tank Abbott. And you can still go on the X Twitter and look up I'm booking the Tankatory facts. And also Gator Golf. Being the Elite Gator Golf. They finished up Series 2 where they put away the Gator Golf Club. They did all sorts of shit in the clubhouse.
Lots of stuff.
And of course,
the Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. That's on SJP World Media. I'm going to say it again. Make sure you check out the volley on SJP World Media as well with Dan and the magnificent Matt Lewis. And I believe Connor knows footy joins them too.
He does.
On occasion. So give them a listen to if you enjoy. It's called Football in Glenn's Country. I call it football too. It's funny. I went into a store that I frequent very often, and one of the guys behind the counter was watching a soccer game, and I said, "Hey, man, you a football fan?" And he said, "No." And I pointed at the TV screen. He's like, "Oh, you mean, yeah, I like this kind of football." So I catch myself doing it too. If you enjoy football / soccer, give them a check out on the old YouTube as well. Yeah. You got one left, don't you?
DDT Wrestling with DC and Doc.
Do not forget about DDT Wrestling. And of course, make sure you give the other member of our podcast team, the Mayor of Canton, a follow on the Twitter X. He does a meal with the mayor every Wednesday, which is probably today if you're listening to this show when it comes out, where he tries delicious, well, sometimes delicious, sometimes not delicious fast food, where maybe you can find something you haven't heard of yet and you can try it out. The mayor's a good choice, a good person to listen to on food because he's a man of his stomach, if you know what I mean, Glenn. And of course, make sure you check out Sports Wire Radio and give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow on all the social media platforms. It is Thomas Bryce, just like it sounds, BRICE, Bryce. Thomas B. Rice, I like to call him. And sportswireradio.org is the website. That's Sportswire with radio with a Z. Check all that fine things out. Check out the life and times of, the life and times of Psycho Sid. This last week we did a full review of Survivor Series 1997, but we did watch some of Shawn Michaels versus Sid, which we opened the show with that. So if you're only interested in that, check that out. This week we will see him do some promos, and he will be defending that World Wrestling Federation Championship against one Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Glenn, and maybe some other fun. So check that out. That's it. That is all. I have nothing else to plug. Glenn, time for you to say goodbye.
Goodbye.